So this is my VT-420 terminal from Digital. They stopped making these back in the 90s, and as you can see, there is a slight problem here. Not just that problem, but come on, how many people never had that happen? Well, except all the ones without cats. But anyway, so this is, as you can see, it powered on. And now we're in the going into the setup screen, and as you can see, it is crooked. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how we fix that. So I'm just going to put this on pause and get back to you in a sec. Okay, step one, as you can tell, is to detach the keyboard and the power. Let it sit a few minutes. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip it over and get to the screws. So the next thing you see will be that. This is a pretty cool feature. The screws themselves, they're captured. And what you do is after you get them loose, you pull them all the way up like that. They actually stick. It's kind of a neat way, because these are the only two screws you need to take the thing apart, and it's just ridiculously easy to do that once you've done that. So I'm just gonna it takes a little bit more, so I'm gonna crack open this case, but first I gotta flip it again. So I've put the monitor face down, and now I'm just gonna, you can see that this is, we just put a little pressure on where these screws were, and the plastic top comes off nice and easily like that, and then we just pull it off thusly. So this is what it looks like from the back. Wait a second here. Oh, that's a little better. It always helps to autofocus. I don't know why it's probably my butterfingers that keep poking it. So, but this is the inside of it. You do not want to touch anything there. In fact, this thingy right here is super duper high voltage, and if you touch it, you can die. There is a special tool that you use to discharge these tubes. I don't have one right now, but what I do have are some plastic tools. I am not going to put my fingers on any of this stuff. I'm going to use some plastic tools to do that. Unfortunately, what I want to do right now is until I get my hands on a discharge tool, which I haven't needed for over 30 years. I'm just going to use these pots here and here to adjust a few things about the screen. The twisting of the screen, or how the screen was sort of crooked. There are these bits like right there that you use to adjust that. Can't really do that right now, but I can adjust the sub brightness to make it a little brighter, which is what I'm going to do. You must use some plastic tools to do that with, because if you touch metal to a lot of you have to have the monitor turned on to do it, and if you touch metal to any of this or to your finger, you can have a brand new hairstyle almost instantly, if you know what I mean. So I'm just going to pause again, and then I'm going to get my tools. So as you can see, my screen is a little bit on the dim side. It actually looks brighter on my phone than it does in real, with my eyes, but back here there are these two controls. I'm going to be adjusting this one right here. This is a plastic tool that's used for adjusting monitor pots. So I'm just going to turn this clockwise just a tiny little bit. And as you can see, it does get a little brighter. If you go too far, though, you see those lines. So what we want to do is we want to adjust it so that the background is nice and black and there are no lines. And the control next to it is actually a fine focus. So I'm not sure if I can. I'm going to have to hold on a second. Okay, I didn't have enough hands, but I managed to get the focus done. So now I've got something that's pretty much readable in all light. So I guess I probably won't have to do anything about the sub brightness, which is sub brightness is this green thingy here, I believe. Yeah, sub contrast actually. So I'm just gonna, I might just play with it live here just to show you what it does. Don't really have the right tool for it, unfortunately, and I'm not too thrilled about putting my fingers next to the. But there is no problem with the with that, so I really probably don't need to demonstrate it for you, because I'm just here to show a few things. So I've successfully gotten the monitor to be nice and bright. And so the next thing is going to be giving it a bit of a twist so that the display is straight. Because as you can see, it's kind of twisted that way a bit. I'm going to go in back and twist it back a little. So this will give you a better idea of how badly the screen is twisted. So basically, I believe I only need to use one control, and this plastic tool, which is actually just a tube with some ridges so that you can grab stuff. I'm basically going to insert it onto the thingy and then, twist it in the way that it's supposed to go. So hold on a minute and I'll do that. Well, the difficult part of the adjusting the rotation of the screen, what you have to do is you need to, let me get something that's a little more pointy to point. So you need to loosen this little screw here. This screw holds this entire assembly in place. So you loosen this screw, and then what I do is, because I'm deathly afraid of being electrocuted, I use this plastic tool to, you can see I can just gently move that ever so slightly. So when you're looking at it from the front, or I should say while you're looking at this from the front, you can see that, let me just get a little further away, but you can see this is basically, I'm rotating the screen like this. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to gently, now that I've done it really, really extremely, just to show you. So now I'm just going to gently poke it along and try to get it nice and square, which I kind of think it is now. So then I go and I got to go back here and tighten that screw again and hopefully not move anything. But that I need both hands for. So hold on. One of the other things I wanted to do was change the height of the screen, because that seemed to be a little off. That's done with this control right here. So I'm going to use my little plastic screwdriver here to adjust that. So you can see that moving changing that control, I can make the screen smaller or larger. I like to have a sort of even border, and that's right about there. So that's what I'm going to do, and now I think I'm ready to close it up. By the way, you can see some burn-in on the side here. That's kind of expected. After all, it is a 30-year-old monitor. There is something you can do with some equipment to get rid of that, but I don't have that equipment with me, so that's going to have to be something that I do on a later date. But with all that, that is how you service one of these terminals. I didn't have to replace any parts, thankfully, or solder anything, thankfully. My soldering skills just totally suck because I don't really do a lot of electronics. Ever since the 1980s, all computer repair has just been module replacement. So, in any case, that's the digital terminal, and now all I have to do is wait to get my Pi DP11 to hook it up to, and then we'll go from there.